Greetings, I'd like to call the meeting of the Board of Miami Township Trustees to order September 15th, 2025. First, entertain a motion to adopt the minutes of September 3rd, 2025.
I so move.
And I second.
I don't have any changes.
It's been moved and seconded to adopt the minutes of September 3rd, 2025 as presented. Mr. Hollister?
Yes.
Ms. Moyer?
Yes.
Minutes are adopted. Do you want to address the special meeting minutes,
Yes,
August 27th?
I move that we, and I read them at home, I move that we accept the minutes of special meeting August 27th.
I second that.
Been moved and seconded to adopt the minutes of the special meeting held August 27th, 2025 as presented. Ms. Moyer?
Yes.
Mr. Hollister?
Yes.
And minutes are adopted.
Entertaining the motion to approve the payment of the bills of $45,042.08. That's general fund $4,812.55, cemetery $3,267.04, fire fund $32,736.51, roads $4,225.98.
I so move.
And I second. Having been moved and seconded, do we have any further discussion?
Nope.
Okay.
Been moved and seconded to approve payment of bills in the amount of $45,042.08 as enumerated. Mr. Hollister?
Yes.
Ms. Moyer?
Yes.
Motion's approved.
Okay. Any correspondence that you'd like to report on?
Nothing I would highlight.
Okay. Now, we may change this in the future, but public additions to the agenda, that's kind of a misnomer. Something that the public would like to bring up or speak to, we speak to it, not necessarily put on the agenda, but maybe ask to have it put on a later agenda. Does the public have anything?
At the village council, they call it citizens' concerns, and they have a time in the meeting that's for that. Doesn't mean you have to do that, I'm just sharing that.
Thank you.
I do like that term. You just say citizen concerns.
We don't have a place in the agenda for adding or subtracting anything from, so I'll do that now. I'll make a motion to remove the following things from the agenda. We have a trustee who had quite a few things and at the last minute cannot be here and would like us to wait. I'd entertain a motion to remove the Township Amazon business account discussion.
Is it under?
Under fiscal officer.
Under new business, and also the discussion under 11 standing committees, the discussion to remove a legally non-conforming committee from the report. Under new business, substantial cost overrun for legal services. And under old business, the resolution to update travel reimbursement. I have to remove that too. There we go.
I will make that motion.
And I'll second. Any further discussion? Okay, favor vote?
It's been moved and seconded to remove 4 items from the agenda as noted due to Mr. Moocher's absence. Mr. Hollister?
Yes.
Ms. Moyer?
Yes.
Motion's approved.
Could we point out that he's having surgery early tomorrow morning? This is a change in schedule.
I don't know if we can do that.
I already said it.
It may be a HIPAA violation.
Very well. Fire chief, fire department report.
Okay, one thing I have on the agenda is, as you are aware, you passed the budget, 2026. And part of the budget, we had expenditures for vehicles for 2026. And the vehicles that we've talked about replacing is number one, our Ford our Ford pickup truck. Replace Ford F-250, replace the Dodge that we sold a couple months back. And our plan for that is to utilize that vehicle as two purposes. One purpose being paramedic response vehicle. As you know, our goal is to always have 3 people on duty, one of which always being a paramedic. And then when they go on a lot of our EMS runs where the paramedic's not needed, the paramedic is needed a vehicle to return to quarters for that next run that comes in. While our ambulance transports the non-critical patient to the hospital, just like I just responded to Grinnell Road and Clifton Road by myself. Got there first, sized up the situation, then Cedarville's paramedic unit came in. Luckily, it was a minor incident, but I'm very concerned about that second run coming in. So if our paramedic returns, he needs a vehicle to do that, and in the past, they've used that older Dodge pickup truck for that purpose. We also have a 2003 rescue truck that its only purpose is to carry rope rescue equipment for when we have a technical rescue type of incident like we had at the John Bryant Park about 2 months ago or a month or so ago. So that is basically the purpose for that vehicle. And then fully equipped, it's about $80,000, $81,000 fully equipped. And what I mean by fully equipped is it puts the lights on it, the sirens, and all the materials that are needed to make it usable for us.
So that's the second truck would also be usable for runs?
Yes.
What formerly was just the old pickup that carried rope and rescue?
Yeah, no, the rescue truck that sits out here is a box type truck that is equipped. Back in the day, I think they equipped it with their jaws of light, their extrication equipment. And they've since moved that equipment to the fire engine because we don't run the same type of system that we used to run, because we only have one crew. So that equipment went to the fire engine, so the only thing left on that smaller truck is a rope rescue equipment. We want to take all that equipment, put it in the pickup truck with the paramedic response vehicle. So basically we're taking a larger type vehicle, putting the equipment in a smaller type vehicle, and we're going to sell that rescue because there's really no need for it anymore. So we're taking 2 trucks and combining into one.
Okay.
And then the chief's vehicle, which is approaching 100,000 miles, it's almost 10 years old, and we need to keep that on track for replacement as well. In both of these, I've shopped through the Ford dealership. These are government contracts, so you know you're getting the best deal in the bottom line price, and it's just matching exactly what our neighbors have, as well as the Ford Explorer is what you see the police department use on a regular basis. They have several new Ford Explorers, so that's what that truck's equipped for. And it's also equipped to be a command post at a large incident. It's what the fire chief will utilize moving forward. So with that said, those 2 vehicles would be sold after we buy the new vehicles. And I did some shopping around, and the rescue truck's gonna go on the market. I thought we could get $25,000 out of it, but the man that's gonna help us sell it says he thinks he can get $75,000 out of it. So
Okay, sounds great. I suggest that, this is new, well, it's not completely new to us, that, we take time to read this slowly, give Chris a chance, and we could talk to the
Okay.
chief if any questions,
Yeah.
anything, bring it, put it on our next agenda.
So both vehicles are probably looking at, if we ordered them today, they wouldn't be here till, probably January anyway. Pickup truck longer than the Explorer. So we have time, we're not in crisis, but, that is the first replacement of vehicles that I recommend.
Thank you.
Do you have the incident report?
Yes. Wait, right there, oh, there you go. As of this morning, we were up to 722 runs. That was this morning
For the year,
for the year.
I,
We're up to now 726
well.
hours later.
That's funny, I thought we averaged about 800 now, maybe it's more closer to 900. But-
Yeah,
Okay,
a year.
a year.
No, I'm saying year to date, we're at 726.
Yeah, but I thought that's high if we're only in August.
Yeah, no, we're,
September.
Oh,
yeah, we're probably right in range with what you did last year.
okay,
And it's between 1,000 and 1,100 runs. And that's just the staffing report. As you see in August, it's all green, so we had paramedic coverage every single day. We have one of our paramedics on vacation, so that's why you see a couple blocks in there with some yellow blocks, which indicates just EMT coverage.
cool.
And typical, a lot more medical runs than fire runs, especially this month. And we'll probably get to the around 1,100 point this year. But our goal right now is to keep as many days as we can with 3 on staff as opposed to 2. But we just had the one resignation, so that kind of hurt us a little bit, but we did bring on two new people, which has really helped us out with staffing. So my goal is to bring on at least another one before the end of the year, and then possibly 2 more part-time employees after the first of the year.
Love it.
Can we know who resigned?
Why do I get their names?
Hayden Cooper.
Hayden, not Cassidy. I got a Hayden, I got a Cassidy, and I got a Casey.
Yeah,
So,
right.
yeah. It was Peyton Cooper.
Okay, anything else?
He still works
He's
part-time though.
so never mind. Great.
Anything else for the fire chief? Dan is not here tonight for cemetery and roads report. So we'll go on to the fiscal officer. Anything to report to us, fiscal officer?
I don't really think there's anything since the last meeting, just the resolution, thanks for preparing that. As I said in the email, I'm thinking that part of why that went down more quickly and we need to refill it more before the end of the year is because early in the year, things that were coming out, for Clifton Cemetery, we're coming from general, but now all of it is coming from 2042 Cemetery, so
Okay.
it depleted it quicker, I think.
So we have a resolution to amend permanent appropriations, whereas it is the ongoing process to accurately appropriate fund according to the needs of Miami Township. Now therefore, the trustees authorize amending the following appropriations. Fund 2042 Cemetery Fund, line 204-410-190, increased by $8,000. That's the staffing, that's the salary line, right?
I so move.
And I second. Do you need a copy of the resolution? Of course you do. May we vote, please?
It's been moved and seconded to adopt resolution 2025-27, to amend permanent appropriations as enumerated. I'm sorry, which one of you both moved?
I move.
Thank you, Don. Mr. Hollister,
Yes.
Ms. Mutcher,
No,
wow,
I mean,
there's more, my apologies.
I didn't, so pathetic. Yes.
The resolution is adopted.
I didn't even catch that at first.
I just My
What-
brain went sideways.
What is the resolution number?
27.
27. Okay, I'll make sure I get signed. And. Is it for fiscal officer? Cool. Mr. Zoning Administrator,
Yes, ma'am.
we have okay, if I could get some assistance here, so I'm opening a public hearing,
Yes. At 5:18.
continuing our text amendments that we're rapidly reformatting, mostly reformatting.
Ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. So this is a very simple one. This one is 25-007, so our 7th one this year, -T. It's Article 8, which is the new one that we've added to it. We had it before in Article 1, but now we're putting it as its own article. Its own paragraph, I guess you would say, or own section. And this is about nonconformity. So just in general, all of these are, I was able to do this with my property, with my land, with my structure, and then the zoning commission changed the rules. Now you can't make me change it because I was in compliance before. So that is, it's considered non-conformity. So you're not conforming, but it's legally non-conforming. Okay, so that's all this section is basically saying, that there are 3 different categories. And if you did it legally before and we changed it, you don't have to change it just because the rules change. But any future ones will have to follow the new rules, of course. Okay? All right, so the intent of this is just to clearly define the types of nonconformities. This text amendment was sent to regional planning on July 5th. It was received by regional planning, we received the regional planning approval letter on August 26th, held a public hearing, the zoning commission held a public hearing on September 7th and voted to forward this text amendment to the township trustees for approval, and you have it in front of you now. In your packet is the proposed text amendment for Article 8. The regional planning's full commission recommendation letters in front of you as well, and the zoning commission recommendation letter and the proposed trustee resolution if you choose to use that resolution.
Nice.
Okay, and just as before, black text is going to be what is currently in the resolution, which for this section, there wasn't anything except for the main headings. The green text is proposed added verbiage from the zoning commission, and then anything that's in purple will be the suggestions from regional planning. Okay? All right, I'm gonna clear this out.
And I think green is what you added, you guys said.
Yes, so black is just the headings, so all in our resolution now is just the sections with no real wording. It was placeholders because we knew we were going to do that when we did the reformat. So basically, I'm gonna try not to read it. I say that every time and I end up reading everything, so I don't want there to be any questions. But I will read the intent, because every section really should have an intent of why you're even putting it in there in the first place. Our old resolution kind of was hit or miss when we did the intent. So the intent of having this section in our zoning resolution at all is within the districts established by this resolution or amendments that may later be adopted, there exist lots, uses of land, and structures which are lawful before this resolution was passed or amended, but would be prohibited or more restricted under the terms of this resolution or amendment thereto. It is the intent of this resolution to permit these nonconformities to continue until they are removed, but not to encourage their continuance. It is further the intent of this resolution that nonconformities shall not be enlarged upon, expanded, extended, nor to be used as grounds for adding other structures or uses prohibited elsewhere in the same district. All right. And just like always, trustees, if you have a question, please stop. Now, I'm going to go ahead and address what's in purple, and I apologize. I just tried to pick a color that was very different. You have the letter in front of you. So basically in green was what the zoning commission has sent to you. The changes that regional planning wanted was just to remove a couple of lines to make it more clear, more grammatically correct, and to add a couple of commas. Okay, so there was only 4 things that they wanted. 2 commas and 2 remove these words. Okay, so the different types of nonconformities, there are lots of records. And this one I'm not gonna read it unless you really want me to. But basically it's saying the same thing. If there was a lot of record before and you change something in like a district or whatever, you can't It's grandfathered in, so to speak. Okay, any questions about that one?
I was gonna ask that question, is there any difference between non-conforming and grandfather?
No, grandfather is just a term that people use. We don't really use that in zoning. But that's a term that people generally know it by. Non-conforming use of the land. Again, do you want me to read them, or is it better to continue on? There's nothing in there that sticks out that's like, oh my gosh, that. The second one, I will read the second point. Any such non-conforming use of the land are voluntarily discontinued for a period of more than 2 years. Any subsequent use of the land shall conform to the regulations. So in other words, if the land isn't used for that purpose anymore, then it can't continue on. If they're not gonna use it for that purpose for a 2-year period,
Even if it's the same owner?
yes.
You're saying land, but we're talking mainly.
Use of it, the uses, yes.
Rather than buildings or.
Yeah, not structures, the use. You can do agriculture, you can do agritourism, you can put up a religious type structure. You know what I mean? There's all these different uses that you can do.
Okay.
So we're talking about the uses themselves. So in other words, if there was a use that you were using your property for and you didn't use that for 2 years and we had discontinued that particular use, you can't just start it up again.
Like maybe small businesses, okay.
Right, yeah, if something was in there, yeah. It's hard to give an example of something that hasn't happened, but that would be what that's what that's stating. Basically, if you don't do it for 2 years, 2 years, you're not still considered non-conforming. You can't start it back up again. All right, and then you got non-conforming structures. I will read a little bit of this just because it's worth noting. So the first one just basically saying if you have a structure, you had it there before and the rules changed. In other words, we changed our height requirement, we changed our setbacks. You can't expect somebody to move a building to match our current resolution. But I will read the second one. No such non-conforming structure may be enlarged, altered in any way, which increases its non-conformity. But any structure or portion thereof may be altered to decrease its non-conformity. And the third one, should a non-conforming structure be destroyed, we remove some words there, by any means it shall not be reconstructed except in conformity with provisions in this resolution. So in other words, if you had a building that it was legal to have it according to our resolution at one time or before the resolution even existed, and it burns to the ground and you want to rebuild it in the exact same spot, but we now have setbacks in place or we have other things that are in place, you can't just build it exactly where it was before because it was non-conforming before. And then the last one, should a structure be moved for any reason, for any distance whatsoever, it shall thereafter conform to the regulations for the district in which it is located after it is moved. So you can't move something into not applying to the current setbacks. And that is it. Yes.
Okay.
There'll be a spot for public comments. I'm just doing my staff report part first. So that is it for this one. You have in your packet,
What, if
a
we're in a public,
resolution.
oh, yeah, I have a.
Yeah, I'm giving the staff report, but I'm ending it by telling you, you do have a copy of it in there.
Yes, I have
And then you can take public comments, of course.
it. I'm just wondering if your staff report should be in the public hearing portion.
A lot of people, they start the public hearing, but technically it's the public hearing opens up when the public is supposed to speak, and then you can close that part. But the whole thing is called a public hearing. I know that's a bit confusing.
Normally, there wouldn't be a staff report in the second meeting of the month.
Right.
So
I'm adding this as a time.
Right.
Because it has to be presented once the zoning commission sends it to you, you have to make a decision within a period of time. I think it's 30
Yes,
days. I'd have to look it
But
up.
he's saying if you're gonna give a staff report, that's not normally done at this meeting, but.
Sure it is. I have to explain what it is.
Okay, good.
Yeah. That's all I have for you. I'll stay up here in case you have questions. I think you have one already.
I'm confused, I thought you were giving us a report, okay.
No, that's it. That is the staff report right there. I just
Okay.
covered it.
Okay.
So you guys know exactly what the
Got
zoning
it.
commission sent you.
Well, that's very, very clear, Brian. and you're very concise and clear, I appreciate it. Do we have any public comment? Fred?
Would you please display 803.4 again?
Mm-hmm. Go ahead. Show it then. Which section?
803.4.
There is no 803.
Yeah.
Or
804.
You mean 804?
I'm sorry. 804, my point 3, I think it is. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're fine. Right there?
Yeah. Slight confusion for me, that's all.
Sure.
So should a non-conforming structure be destroyed by any means, it shall not be reconstructed except in conformity with the provisions of this resolution.
Yes.
That implies to me, I mean, I would have said, for my clarity, I would have said, with the provisions of the current resolutions, plural, because it could involve many or some or only one of a number of your zoning conformities, and this resolution, in a sense, is just this piece that you're talking about today, whereas by the end of the year, you have done a number of things to other parts of your, quote, resolutions, plural. So I just wanted to point out that for me, it's a little bit confusing that it doesn't say the provisions of the current resolutions, which would make it clear to me, oh, wherever I'm reading this, what are the current ones? And the one about setbacks is, what is it now,
Sure.
as opposed to what it was before?
Sure.
I'm just expressing my own personal concern that this be accurate to what you mean it to mean. And if that's the way it has to be, okay. But for me, it's a little confusing that it implies that this resolution today is it's the only thing that it's about.
Sure. So I understand what you're saying, and hopefully I can explain it better. So this is the resolution that everyone in the township has to abide by when it comes to zoning. We're taking one section and we're changing it. So in 30 days, if the trustees approve this, in 30 days it becomes official. So that page, the old page would be ripped out necessarily, and this new page would be put in. Now this is the resolution. It's still the same resolution. Any previous resolutions are only good for like a historical reference, but really there's only one resolution. Changes may happen. Go ahead.
If you don't mind. So my understanding now is the whole book is called one resolution instead of resolutions.
Yes.
Even
correct.
though you cover numerous things, it's singular.
The resolution
Okay.
has articles and sections, like chapters and paragraphs.
Sorry to interrupt.
No, it's totally fine, and maybe there's others that feel the same way about that. So, yeah, there's only one. So this is written as this will be in the new resolution. This is a new revised page, so to speak.
Yeah, it's unique that it's called zoning resolution rather than zoning code.
Yeah.
But in the law,
Just a different
referred to as, the townships will have a zoning resolution.
Any other public comment? I would entertain a motion to adopt this resolution 2025-28 as presented.
I so move.
And I second. Now, any further discussion? The trustees.
For me.
And Marie, there we go.
It's been moved and seconded to adopt resolution 2025-28, zoning resolution text amendment 2025-007-T, Article 8, nonconformities, as presented. Mr. Halford.
Yes.
Ms. Moore.
Yes.
The resolution is adopted.
Cool.
Thank you. Closing the public hearing.
Closing the public hearing.
About 32.
To be clear, you don't have a staff report tonight.
No,
But
not
what-
the regular staff report.
Okay, got it.
Yes.
All right, we're done standing committee reports. You have a MVRPC report done.
We did have a monthly meeting, but nothing of significance.
Chris isn't here for Greene County Regional Planning, Clifton Union Cemetery,
We have not met.
Yellow Springs Development Corporation. There are things happening there that, I mean, not, it's not public knowledge yet, and I believe there's a public meeting being planned for early in October, so. Town Hall. Greene County Township Association, Brian and I attended their monthly meeting, that was fun, and the food was good as always. I'd say what came out of that evening is everybody's talking about a lot of advocacy against the ideas in the legislature to eliminate real estate tax, which would have a devastating effect on all governments, or mostly local governments. Does anything else stand out from that meeting for you?
No.
Okay.
I mean, that's the key takeaway. That
Yeah,
was
yeah.
a big part of the
And
conversation.
it's just a lot of networking. We got to meet a lot of people, or re-meet other people. The Glen Forest Natural Burial Committee, we haven't met. Well, we've talked. This is the one, there's Chris was gonna bring up the discussion to remove legally non-conforming committee. It was discovered that it's not really it's more of an advisory board than a committee when challenged to produce minutes and, you know, accusations of sunshine violations. It was found once again, that we don't know the difference between an advisory board, or we've never defined advisory board versus actual committee that has quorums and minutes and things. So I'm gonna add, I still think it's a worthy committee to advise on the Green Advisory Board to advise on the Glen, the natural burial prairie. And we'll talk about that next week. An active transportation committee, I'm on that. And if you don't, do you know what the active transportation committee is? We have.
I know I went to one program where we were talking about where
Yeah.
you folks, there was tours of downtown sidewalks and.
Well, it's a committee that's represented by the village, the township, the schools, and we, a lot of the grants to get a lot of the things, the new traffic things you see in town. There's all these, designs we do and apply and compete for grants and take audits and walking tours to determine things and rank. There will soon be for our next round of funding, we're going to be doing a public outreach for people to rank what a whole bunch of additions and modernizations and improvements will be listed, and we'll ask the public to rank their top ones so that we could find the priorities, and so for the next round of funding. And we're looking toward, looking at the changes that are happening where new apartment buildings may be and different things, and fortifying walkways and stuff. So look out for that, because we need public input to apply for this. We want public input to identify the priorities that we should apply for the grants. So that's what that group does. In case you're wondering where all these new sidewalk, multi-use paths and cropped out crossings and things. All right, so that's the report.
And do you also prioritize places that ought to have sidewalks that don't?
Oh, yes,
Mhm.
yes, definitely. And
So
there's, and there are many on this new list. So, new business. we've eliminated one. Yeah, I'll take this. It says levy discussion, but really we're just gonna announce, we're gonna start our public, we're gonna start our public presentation of the facts, and then there'll probably be a levy committee through our proponents, but
They found it in your packet.
this is a renewal of a levy that's been here for like 20 years. Renewing an existent non-permanent levy. It requires citizens' approval every 5 years, and the last approval was in 2020. The renewal is good for 5 years, from 225 to 229. The effective tax rate is reduced to 2.3 mils, originally approved at a tax rate of 3.8 mils. So if you know about renewals, there's an initial millage level. But it doesn't stay at that millage level. It's for mostly a permanent amount of money. And when you get more people in higher value houses, it doesn't go up. The amount of money stays the same, you just spread it around. So really, in a sense, everyone's paying less over time, which is good for the people and sometimes a challenge for us that over time we keep renewing and renewing. And 20 years ago now was 2003, so yeah. We're working with the same amount of funds, but we've had a levy since then. But so it's down to 2.3 mils. It will generate $595,182 for the fire department annually. Property owners contribute, will be taxed $82 per 100,000 of valuation. And it accounts for 47% of the fire department's tax revenue, the fire and rescue department's tax revenue. And it sustains present service and staffing levels. I'll just add that there's sometimes confusion, $82 per 100,000 of valuation. It's not the value of your house, it's when you go to the auditor's site, it's not the appraisal level, no, there's two levels. The assessed level. So
Maybe that wording should be changed.
I don't think so. That would cause very much confusion. Because how would you change it?
Assessed level.
Yeah,
Auditors.
oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, auditor's assessed level. That is a good idea. Yeah,
Or maybe in parentheses.
right. Okay. Funds may be used for fire department uses only. Levy funds are used to pay firefighters full and part-time, and to pay for training and professional development, and for firefighter protective and clothing equipment. We passed a permanent levy in 2022 that was for staffing costs only. So this is the only one we have that provides for something broader than salaries and compensation. Contact the fire chief for specific questions related to the fire department.
Please do.
The Greene County Auditor's website details individual property tax collection. That's a very interesting page. They added some statistics. Let's see if they're correct. Annual fire and rescue incidents 370.
That is not correct.
I thought we got that earlier this evening, didn't we?
Separate from EMS.
For some reason,
Oh.
those numbers,
Oh, got it. That's fire, that's.
yeah, there we go.
They add up to 1,000.
EMS, it's,
Threw in that rescue, that kind of,
yeah, that's.
so basically
Right.
I break it down, fire runs and medical runs.
So maybe
Right.
cross out rescue.
So who created this document?
Between myself and Fred.
Oh, nice.
And, let's see, EMS incidents 730 on course for 526, okay, in 2025, got it. Average monthly fire incidents 30?
Yeah,
Wow.
since I've been here.
Yeah, I saw that because on your report, I think we had 29.
But this month we're down, but
Yeah.
2 months ago we were up.
Average daily EMS 2, average response time.
It's higher than 2, but
Average response time, 3 minutes and 45 seconds.
And that is very good, by the way.
What is that? That's once the truck leaves the garage?
Yes.
Okay.
You have, our standards in this business is you have dispatch time. That's the time the dispatcher answers the 911 call till they alert the fire department. Then you have turnout time. That's the time when the fire department gets the alert until they're rolling down the street in the truck. Then you have response time. It's the time when they're rolling down the street until they arrive on the scene.
Okay, thank you.
And
I think the relevance of bringing this up in a meeting is a lot of you have been following regularly. And if you see a gap, gee, there's information that ought to be available to, add to this set of facts. And you don't have to say anything now, it would tell the chief or whatever.
Any further discussion on this? We don't really have it's not an item of business. Old business, real quick. The Purdue Pharmaceutical class action settlement. This is just perfunctory. We get to vote, we're part of a class action settlement. It's interesting that the main things that stick out to me, this is replacing an old one, is it doesn't absolve the Sackler family from prosecution. It increases their contributions, and the Purdue Pharma will be dissolved and cease to exist. And all of its assets from Purdue Pharma will go to Kanoa Pharma LLC, which is a newly created company wholly owned by a charitable foundation, and they're developing medication treatments for opioid overdose and reversal and additional treatment. So it's interesting that all of their assets are going to a pharmacy corporation that will address the treatment for opioid addiction. So that's pretty cool. And I don't know the significance of us voting in this. I know the state is going to eventually receive $198 million, and we'll get our little piece of the pie, which by the time it gets down
Does
to us.
this give wording for a motion to support?
Oh, yes. No, it doesn't. It just, I thought we should have a motion, because
It does, they want, since we were
just.
hurt and
Well, what we're doing is voting.
representing the township.
I'll make a motion that we vote yes to approve this settlement.
I second it.
Any further discussion? May we vote, please?
It's been moved and seconded to approve the presented Purdue Pharmaceutical class action settlement as detailed. Ms. Moyer?
Yes.
Mr. Hollister?
Yes.
Motion's approved.
Okay, old business, continued. I entertain a motion to appoint Gina Gunderklein as the custodian of record for our public records requests.
I make that motion.
Any further discussion?
Do I hear a second?
Oh, a second. Any further discussion? May we vote, please?
It's been moved and seconded to appoint fiscal officer Gina Gunderklein as the township's public records custodian. And Mr. Hollister?
Yes.
Ms. Moyer?
Yes.
Motion's approved.
Opposed? No, I'm just kidding.
I knew that would quick.
Gotta get in that a little quicker.
Congratulations.
How long does that resolution last? Is that till the duration of her
Well,
term?
that was a motion.
That's
So
fair.
I think what has to happen, I thought this through, like, we're getting public records requests without having
Yes,
ever
yes.
appointed someone. So I want to get this so we can operate tomorrow. And then it is my understanding, I had in the files a public records policy.
Right.
And that it looked great. I announced it last week. We were informed by our chair that that's no longer the policy of record, that there's one that was written after that. So that could be Gina's first task. So what I'm thinking is that we're gonna need an update of that, and then we will lay out those facts.
Okay.
What I imagine is we just appoint the fiscal officer of Miami Township as the custodian of records for public records request. And that wouldn't put a time limit on it, right?
Right.
Or it could be something, the first meeting of each year, we go through and,
Just like you choose a chair and.
decide who's chair, who's.
I mean, you could, but if it makes sense to have that, my name obviously wouldn't be in the living document. It would be the fiscal officer in perpetuity, whoever that is, whomever, and that probably makes the most sense.
Right, I think that's right.
And then having it, making clear when that's part of the duties.
That is, it would make the most sense that our policy be that the fiscal officer is it.
With assistance from us as needed.
And I encourage you to read the duties of, you're only the coordinator.
Mhm.
You are not responsible, if there's a department head or an elected official who is having a records request,
Okay.
their assistance, like if the fire department chief you would say, we need all the run times for 2025, he would
Right.
have to get them for you.
Right.
Can I ask a clarifying question? Because my job title, I believe, if I have a public records request for zoning, it's not gonna happen that often, but if it does, then I would just send it to that individual. Or is anything changing from that? If,
Mhm.
yes, that I'm not, I've not dealt with that before. If,
Who asked for public, I mean, they call you?
no, it's never happened here to me, but
It's happened other places.
if someone does a records request to me directly, because one thing a zoning administrator should always do is not allow the BZA and zoning commission to do that directly. It's better to come from the staff person, is what I've been taught. I've never had one specifically, a formal one. People were like, hey, can I get a copy of X? And I would send them a copy of X because we're transparent. But if there was an official records request, would I need to then take it to her if it's of a zoning matter? Because you're gonna just look at that.
Yeah, I
and
would just
go,
come right back
Can
to
you
you.
give it
I
to
would
me?
probably,
I would assume it would go through, that she would be
But I would
responsible,
be the
making sure it
contact.
happened.
Then
Sure.
there'd be an official record.
yeah.
Part of the
Oh, okay.
policy is that it has to be involved with those things.
So it would
So
go
you-
into the public records request folder. I would document, maybe be the intermediary of contact, but you would probably still be needing to provide the actual information,
Okay.
I'm guessing,
That would-
depending on what it was.
Yeah.
I mean,
And then
another way to handle it would probably be very simply for you to answer it and CC the records office and just say in an email, I'm fulfilling this request and I'm also notifying the public records office that this request was made and that I have fulfilled it as far as I can tell.
That seems to make sense, but I guess if you're gonna write a policy, that
Yeah,
needs to be
cover
stated
that
for a
wrinkle.
department head to know
What to do.
but that makes total sense, yes.
Chief, in your business, do people send record requests directly to you?
No, there's one central clearing point.
Yeah.
That way it's easier for them, because you get attorneys that ask for EMS incidents, they ask for fire incidents, they ask for people's emails. There's just, there's just a 1,000 different things that they ask for. It's just easier in an organization to go through one person. Even though the request might come to you directly, but on record it goes, so it's official.
Yeah.
So it goes to the one clearinghouse.
And I'm thinking of other requirements that we're not currently honoring, which is a clear statement on our website of how to make a public records request and post it in the building, how to make a public records request. So we would give them your,
And sometimes, public records requests go straight to trustees and not me, so I guess you would appropriately need to
Forward
forward them on, okay.
okay,
I like it.
I like it too. So looking ahead, we'll have to update our public records request policy. I entertain a motion to, is there any more public comment today or? No? I think I entertain a motion to adjourn this meeting,
I so move.
and I second. We're adjourned.
Okay.
Cool.